So I've got three pieces. Two of them are prose. One of them is poetry that appears in one of the collection books called Revealed. I'm not going to tell you which is which. I'm just going to go from page to page without telling you titles. I dated a guy once for a few months, and after the first week of January, I noticed that whenever we went out, I would always do things. We would always do things that I wanted. I remember inviting him out to do things with my friends, but I don't ever remember him bringing me to hang out with his friends. One thing I do remember is that on one cold January morning, we were walking down the street and I found a coin on the ground. This may be a sign, I thought. I leaned over when I saw that coin's glimmer was not copper-toned like a penny, but silver like a nickel or a dime, and I started to get closer to pick up the coin, and I was so excited. "Hey, that's a quarter on the ground," I said. And I told my date that if you find a penny, pick it up, and all the day you'll have good luck. Then maybe, because I found a quarter, then maybe I'd have 25 days of good luck. We laughed at this little comment, and then I put the quarter in my pocket, and then we went walking away. And I know we were dating. We were not that close. And it's not as if and even though it was approaching Valentine's Day, well, he broke up with me. No, as I said, we weren't that close. And I was imagining that he was thinking, oh, wait, Valentine's Day is approaching, and I don't want her to think that I actually expect something from me, blah, blah, blah. And let me repeat myself, we weren't that close. It wasn't a big deal. But the strangest thing was that he broke up with me 26 days after I found that quarter. 25 days for that proverbial good luck, and they broke up with me. It was the strangest thing. I saw a woman today who had an intricate pattern tattooed like a ring along her thigh, and it made me think, how did she have this done? When she had it done at the tattoo parlor, did she have to actually lay on a bed and have, while they rested her calf up on the shelf, while they actually tattooed her leg like that? Or did she have to actually stand 5 feet apart while I pulled that off? So, come to think of it, when you call it a bracelet, because that's what that was, this tattoo, and because your wrist is called a bracelet, why do they call an ankle bracelet an anklet? And they call a thigh tattoo, what would you call it? A thighlet? And speaking of, what is that circle around your wrist? Why is it called a bracelet in the first place anyway? I mean, do they call it a bracelet because it binds you the way that your hands do, like handcuffs? Or is it like a wedding ring that reminds a woman that she's forever bound to a man? I wonder if being bound to someone like that is like having a tattoo and a ring around your body. And it actually made me think, well, if a woman's getting a tattoo like that, as a thigh bracelet like that, does she lay on her back while they lay her down and the rest of her calf sits up in some sort of brace while they all tattoo all over her body? Or does she have to stand there 5 feet apart while they take care of her then? Thrown in a journalism mode, I pulled the car over when I spotted him. I mean, I was on a roll on this truck, photographing elk, a bison recently, this little creature, I have never seen a fox look so gold in my life. He was sitting right at the side of the road near the tree, so I pulled over my car, turned off my engine. He didn't move. I opened my driver's side door, slowly. He still didn't move. I moved the car door to almost close so it didn't make a noise. I made sure that my Minolta Maxim 5000 35mm camera, the same camera I used in the newspapers to photograph girls' softball games, or the college-run football and basketball games, rock bands, or fluff articles, or film photographs from page 2. I made sure that my camera was pressed firmly to my hand. You know, I always liked how the camera felt in my hand. I could cup my right hand along the side, feel its handle, hold it like a handle so it fit perfectly in my hand, so that my finger was always pressed on that shutter button. But once I was at the side of my car, camera in hand, door out of my way, I started taking steps to edge toward that fox. He was only 7 feet away from me, but I didn't want to zoom more and lose a quality shot. So I took a second step, and a third, to around the front corner of my car. The beautiful golden fox picked up his head to look at me. I didn't move. And the two of us froze there for a moment. I noticed how perfectly golden he was. He looked like a stuffed animal, only more vibrant, more alive, and bigger than a stuffed animal, I guess, like a stuffed animal that was 2.5 feet long. This little beast was impressive as he picked up his head from his eating, and then he finally sensed me. After a moment, he turned and started leaping into the field to escape me. I started to follow. I forgot to mention that it was February. It was Wyoming, and there was 5 feet of snow on the ground, 5 feet from the side of the road. And yes, I started sprinting toward this fox as it leaped away in the snow. I charged in that snow after it. I thought, I can make it. I can make it through the snow. It's freshly fallen. It's light. I can keep up. And then I took 3 steps into that 5-foot-tall wall of snow, and I was pretty much stuck. And so I stopped and watched that fox leaping in bounds, and every few feet I see his golden head pop up in the snow before it looked to confirm its direction before each subsequent jump. I'd watch him leap away for a minute, burning that memory of the golden fox into my skull before I trudge back to